a brand new video. Today we're going to talk about my August stubber, which is a fun way of saying TBR. But it's also making it Punjabi, so we love it. I am not the person who created this. It is Sharon from Books on Toast, and I love her. So yeah. Anyway, as you know, if you have been following me, in July and in the first week of August, I said that I will be reading a lot of classic books. So that still continues into this week. This month. So I'm not going to talk about the first few books that I'm going to read because one, I've already read some because it's like the 5th of August and I'm filming this. And also, like I've already spoken about it plenty in the previous video, so I will link that up here and down in the description so you can check that out and see what those books are about. But essentially, I have already read Parable of Sour by Octavia E. Butler. Spoiler, amazing. I'm also currently reading Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and I love it. And then I'm planning to read Midnight's Children by Salman Rushdie. I am also wondering whether I should either read Beloved and by Toni Morrison, and I really want to. However, I know that there are very dark and deep discussions and that it could possibly leave me reeling, and I don't know whether I want to do that during my birthday week, or right before my birthday. So I don't know about it. So the other option that I have is Fight Club, which is also a book that I've been wanting to read for a long period of time. All of you have been telling me to read The Bell Jar. I really want to read it, but I just don't think it's the right time right before my birthday, you know. So yeah, that's that. I also, you will think I am nuts, but I also plan to read this chunker, which is A Suitable Boy by Vikram Seth, and it is literally 1,500 pages, more than 1,500 pages of like the tiniest font. So best of luck to me. But the adaptation, the BBC adaptation, is now out on Netflix, and we've been wanting this to happen for very many years, and now that it's finally happened, I still haven't read the book, and I feel kind of like shitty about that. So I plan to read this entire thing in 3 days during the 15th August, which is our Independence Day, Indian Independence Day, so it's a holiday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I hope to finish this entire thing, and I have no idea how that's going to go, but I'm gonna try very hard to do that because I've heard that this book is just amazing, it's engaging and just brilliant. And honestly, I don't know too much about it. I know that it's set in the 1950s in India, right after the partition, and it is about a family and them looking for a suitable boy for a girl. I honestly do not know, and I don't want to know, and I want to go into the book with that thought process. I have read a few books by Vikram Seth before, that is The Golden Gate and An Equal Music, and I absolutely loved those books. And this book, of course, is one of the all-time greats in India and the world. So I'm really excited to be reading this, but I am really scared. But I do plan to vlog that experience, so make sure that like you subscribe and all of that good shit, so you see what that experience is like. Another Indian book that I hope to read this month is The Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri, and this book I am going to be reading as part of the Indian Readathon that is being taking place on BookTube. So Nidhi and a bunch of other Indian creators have come together to create this Indian Readathon, where basically they're trying to promote more Indian literature. And hey, who am I to say no to people promoting Indian literature? So I'm going to link down all of their announcement videos and all of that sort of stuff, so you can check that out and also participate yourself. This is the group book, and I read this I think when I was like 16 or 17, when the movie had just come out, and of course I was in that like I will read the book before I watch the movie phase, which I still am in. So I read the book and I remember I loved it, and then I watched the movie and that was spectacular. spectacular as well. And I've been wanting to actually reread and watch the movie after Irfan Khan died. So this is just brilliant timing. I'm really looking forward to it. And do join the discussion, because I think there will be a live discussion for this book as well. So read the book and join the discussion as well. I think it's going to be really fun. And of course, Jhumpa Lahiri has my heart. I've read practically all of her other books and given 5 stars to all of them. So yeah, there's that. Another book club, which is the Shiny Happy Book Club, run by Books on Toast, and Here Comes the Sun, which is basically this mental health book club wherein they basically get new curators every month to curate 2 books, 1 fiction and 1 non-fiction. And the curator for this month, who's Ashish Shakya, who's a well-known Indian comedian, he chose one of my all-time favorite books, okay? And I have read this book in 2015. It is Fall of Giants by Ken Follett. And Follett, I don't know. And this guy, like, this series is one of my all-time favorites. And it is a chunker as well, but honestly, it goes by so fast. The series is set in, like, it's historical fiction, and it's set in World War I, World War II, and the Cold War and the Civil War. And this follows the First World War. And essentially it has characters from all over the world which were important in the World War. So from Germany, from the UK, from Russia, from the US, and they all kind of come together, and you get to know about various parts that happened during the war, like various things that happened during the war and like before and how it started and all of that sort of stuff. But they all kind of like their lives intertwine, and they tell you the story of the war through the characters, but like there's just so much of drama and like angst, and there's romance, and there's just like all of that good stuff, and like just so much of stuff. But I know it's a bit much. I think it's about like 900 pages or something like that. No, yeah, 800 something pages, but it flies by so fast. So I am tempted to read the book with the other people as well, because even though I remember some things, I might not remember all of it. So without blabbering, I'm maybe going to read this book as well. Don't hold me to it though. I have lots of reading plans. Then another readathon that's happening right now, started by a bunch of Bookstagram friends of mine. I will again link them down below, is the Discovering India Readathon. So I also hold a readathon which is very similar, called Lit with Indian Lit, but they hold this during August. And of course, as I said, Indian literature, why will I say no? So that is, I'm going to be reading a couple of books for that. So one of the books that I'm going to be reading is Hangwoman by K.R. Meera, and this book I've been really dying to read as well. This book basically follows the first ever hangwoman. So hangwomen or hangmen were the men who basically hung the men. People who, when capital punishment was put underway and people were hung to death, then the people who would basically be in charge of that were the hangmen and hangwomen. And she is the first hangwoman in like ever. So it's basically a coming of age story, but also she gets a lot of press and media talking about her and all of that sort of stuff. So I've heard that this book is one of K.R. Meera's finest, and I've read a lot of her books already, and I really like them. I really like the simple language in which she writes it in, but also she discovers and talks about these really interesting ideas. So I'm definitely super psyched to read this one. I'm also going to be doing reading 2 of Perumal Murugan's books. Perumal Murugan is a Tamil writer, and these 2 are both his new releases, both with different publishers. However, Rising Heat was his first ever published book in Tamil, and this has just been translated. And this book I think was released in like the 90s at some point of time. 91, yes. So in 91, I was a wee tiny little child. I was 1 year old. And yeah, this book released then, and it's about this family that is displaced because of capitalism growing, and how they have to move, and how this boy sees his life changing over the years because of that, and how greed and hunger and capitalism kind of makes their life different or diminished, if I can. And then the second book, which is Estuary, is basically about, is his first ever book set in the urban world, because Perumal Murugan does a really great job of talking about rural Tamil landscapes. And I have spoken more about his books in my Lit with Indian Lit translation recommendation, so you can check that out. But yeah, so I'm really excited to read this one. I think this is about a family, so a father and a son, and about how they are navigating their lives in the urban world with like work and all of that sort of stuff. I'm not too sure. Again, I don't really go into books fully with understanding what the plot might be, because I want to kind of have it like wash over me. So there's that. So yeah, so these books. But another thing that I am also participating in is the Women in Translation month. So August is Women in Translation month, and that is also held on like social media. So a lot of people talk about it and read Women in Translation during this month. And I will link all of the topics and articles and all of that down below, social media handles and all of that. But for that, I will be reading Hangwoman. But I also plan to read The Enlightenment of the Green Gage Tree, and by Shuki. I'm not even going to try. So this book is shortlisted for the International Booker Prize, and I have heard nothing but great things about this one. Everyone's kind of hoping that it'll be the contender and the winner. So I'm very, very excited to read this one. I'm glad that it's finally, I've been eyeing this book for a really long time, and I'm glad that it's finally in India now, because yeah, I was excited, and I'm very excited to read this one. I also plan to read a couple of other books, but those are, as you can see, there are like a lot of these piles behind me because I'm arranging my books. But that's another video or topic. Anywho, we then move on to some of the books that I've got through publishers. So thank you, publishers. I love you. Please send me more books. Okay, thank you. But this one book is The Girl Made of Gold by Gitanjali Collard and Colonard. And this was sent to me very sweetly by Juggernaut right before the shutdown happened. And this book, I think, has just kind of come out in August. And I'm really looking forward to reading this one. I've had my eye on it for a long period of time, but I just haven't. And this book is set in Tanjavur, and is about this girl who disappears, and in her place a statue of a woman in pure gold mysteriously appears in the temple to which she was to be dedicated. So that sounds really interesting, and I've heard nothing but good, amazing praises about this one, so I'm excited to read this one. I'm excited to read all the books, okay, but like that's why they're on my TBR, because I'm excited. But hey, do you know what book I am possibly most excited about? It's this one. It's the last one. I saved the best for the last, and that is this beautiful book called Black Flamingo by Dean Arta. Now, isn't this just stunning? So this book was very sweetly sent to me by Hachette, because I basically just reached out to them and I was like, hey, I want to read this book so badly. Can you please send it to me, or tell me when it's releasing so I can buy it for myself? Because everyone has been, because of the queer blackathon and a lot of like things happening on the internet, everyone has been talking about this book and no one has said anything bad about it. No one. So I'm excited to read it. So this book basically follows this man who is a trans man. I'm not sure, but essentially he writes in verse. So the entire thing is in verse, and he tells you the story of him. Oh my god, so beautiful! Just look at that. Look at that. And then, like, you can't really see, but ooh, anyway, so it's about him coming to terms with his sexuality, and also kind of understanding what it is, and like coming to understand himself through the form of drag. So he becomes this drag artist called the Black Flamingo, and I think that's so amazing. And yeah, I'm again, I go in with not too many thoughts, so pardon me if I have said anything wrong, or just something which is not right. I don't know, but yeah. So basically, this book, most excited about. All of these books, so excited about. But like, y'all, see, one second, so much books. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Anyway, okay, so that is all. That is my TBR for this month. It is also my birthday month. So, like, you know, if you want, you can send me books. I'm not opposed to it. Like, the link to buy me books, my Amazon wish list is in the bio. So, you know, like, you can do that if you want. I mean, I'm not stopping you, but ooh. Okay, anyway, that is all. Thank you so much for watching this cute little video, and stay tuned for all of the videos that I have planned, because I have so many videos planned. I'm so excited, and I'll catch you later. Thank you. I don't know how to do these outro thingies. Okay, bye.